Welcome to the Bad Blood Podcast, everybody. We've got Lewis, Francis and the Team Maulers here today. How are you, lads?
We're good,
Great.
Good.
Mate, good.
Just going to roll into the team story and how the background of the team. Marley, I believe you. Do you want to give a bit of a background?
Yeah. Well,
because it's
what it was, I've known Lewis for a lot of years. Obviously, he went his way. I went mine. I joined the Marines, boxed in the Marines, got to quite a good level of, or a good standard of boxing. Left the Marines a couple of years ago. Sort of missed that sort of discipline, missed that lifestyle. To try to sort of set something up to try and replicate what I used to do in there. Got a good team of lads together. Obviously, moved in next. Matty here is my neighbour. We started something off, and it just snowballed from there. Just sort of created a team, created a mindset and ethos, and then it's just been growing arms and legs ever since, really. So it's been brilliant.
Can you just how long were you in the Marines for?
I was in there for 9 years.
Wow. Can you tell a little bit about
that? Joined at quite a young age, so I was quite green as grass when I went in. Didn't really know a great deal. Just left school. Opened my eyes a lot. Grew a lot of teeth. Met a lot of people. Had some great experiences. Had some experiences that weren't so great. So when I left, it was quite a difficult time trying to adjust. But sort of these lads have helped me get along adjusting, and sort of just building something up and trying to, do something positive rather than being negative and getting amongst it.
Obviously, with you having the forces background, you would have been used to seeing some pretty nasty stuff, horrible stuff.
I was quite lucky because I was boxing primarily most of the time, so I was essentially a full-time athlete. So I got out of some of the bad stuff, to be quite honest. But
I was just going to ask you, how did you adapt back to civilian life?
A tracksuit soldiers, people call it. It wasn't easy. You know what I mean? It was difficult to start with, but just like I say, I adjusted and adapted to it, and just sort of implemented the things I did in there on the outside. It's sort of worked in my favour. Well, it certainly has now, because I've got a good team of lads around us, and we're all doing positive things. So I'm happy with the way things are going.
So your boxing background, and how steep is it? Like, obviously.
Well, I've obviously before I joined the Marines, I was just a young lad. Used to go to the odd boxing class, had a couple of fights, and that didn't really achieve it a great deal. So when I joined the Marines, I learned to box properly, and I was getting sort of world class training. People were going sort of GB sparring, and we were traveling all over the world fighting with an international team of high standard elite level boxers. So it's all sort of gone in my favour, and all the stuff that I'm doing with the lads now is the stuff that I did in there. And you can just see it, the progression in the short space of time that I've worked with people. It's tenfold, really. So it's obviously worked in my favour.
So how did this idea of the team come about, and how did you first come about putting it together?
It started with me and Matty. Obviously, I moved in a new house, didn't sort of know anyone in the estate. Matty over here sort of knocked on my door. We got talking, and that he was at MMA and jiu-jitsu. Obviously, I was into boxing. I was quite into coaching and that. So I said, what we'll do, we'll have an exchange of skills. I went grappling on jiu-jitsu with Matty, and then I took him on the pads and taught him how to box, and it just snowballed from there. It grew a lot of momentum. We went over the fitness lab over in Spennymoor, where we train out of, and people started hearing about us. Then obviously we've got Lewis and Billy, Pick, Jump In, Alex, and everyone just got amongst it. Everyone just got amongst it.
So Lewis, I'm obviously more familiar with you, obviously with the Spartan background and stuff like that. How big of a help has Marley and his idea, team? How has it helped you? Because
this team, like every one of us, is a support network for the other person. The bond we've got, like people from the outside don't understand it. Like, do you know, I don't have enjoy any conversations with many other people anymore, right? And then I'll be telling them about stuff that us lot are talking about, and people look at us like I'm mental, right? Like we're proper support network for each other. If one of us has got a problem, another person in this group has got that what it takes to be able to like to give the bit of guidance for it. Like, and we all like you'll never find this is a very rare thing what's happening at the moment. You'll never find a group of lads working the way that we are. And like what Marley's done with me boxing, like, is unbelievable. I think how long have you had hold of us now, Marley?
Close to a couple of months now, isn't it?
But since November, isn't it? Though we've been training together. But I think we've been about 2.5 months or something. We've been doing the boxing together.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm telling you, what he's done with my boxing is unbelievable. Like, just how sharp I am, how good I am. Like, it's took him a few broken fingers, but like the dislocated shoulder sockets. But like, mate, like what he's done with me boxing's unbelievable. Like, I'll be forever grateful with him. Like this, and like that's why I've just thought we need to get this team put out there. Like this what's it called? Exposure.
Yeah.
For us here, man, it's like because this is a rare thing. What happens here? Like the Wolves Lair was set up in a similar way, like from what we're doing right now. Like there's big things on the horizon for us, lot.
See, we're just getting used to this live thing. We're more for like just like producing the videos and then putting them out. We're still getting used to this game, but I'm very sure Will, when like Tony's in the chat now, he'll spread it about. Obviously, if he had to make a statement. Obviously, is it all forms of combat, the gym, or are you just sticking to the boxing and the bare knuckle?
We've got a couple of kids from all different disciplines. Like I think, Pick, you've done a bit of MMA, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done MMA for about 10 years. I'm going to stick to the boxing now, mate.
At what level?
Matty's done a bit of MMA as well in the background there, haven't you, Matty?
Yeah, I had a couple of amateur fights. You know, when I was younger, K1, MMA, and stuff like that. I've always dabbled in a bit of training here and there.
So how many fights have you had collectively?
4.
4.
It's just like I've never really, to be honest with you, I've never claimed to be a fighter or claimed to be an athlete or anything. It's just when I was younger, I was really like off the rails a bit, and
yeah,
I just found something to get me head into and stuff, and I'd just take a fight because. I just wanted something to focus on. It was never really like something I had my eye on as a career or anything. I would never walk around saying like I'm a fighter as such. I do train like one, and I am looking to be fighting like towards the end of this year after that's got their fights out the way and stuff. But it's just something to focus on for my mental health, really, and just to keep us on the right path, sort of thing.
I was just about to touch upon that. I take it you used to train for your mental health, and you still do. It obviously it's a big thing, massive help training. It keeps you, like you say, gives you that focus. How vital is it to you that you've, like Lewis touched upon before, that you are a support network for each other? How important is it for you that you found this team?
Well,
formed it, basically. You know what I mean? Spearheading it.
Well, I'm very open and honest about my mental health. I work for a mental health organisation, actually. I've spent quite a lot of sections in my life, due to me mental health, and since we sort of started training like we do now, and I've got a lot of structure to what I do and everything else, and obviously with the help of Marley and all the lads around us. Everything in my life's improved, and I'd urge anybody who is struggling with a mental health or, just life in general to get in the gym, get yourself surrounded by positive people, and we all push each other on, and that's what makes the team so, that's what makes the team so good. Marley helps me, I help him. Lewis helps me, I help him. We all help each other in.
So it's a unique bond that is.
Yeah. You never find this. Honestly, it's rare what's happening right now with our group. It's like
special, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's why
we've all had our issues, haven't we, lads? We've all had our bad backgrounds.
Go on, Pick.
That's what I'm saying. We all like to say we've all had bad backgrounds. We've always been in trouble, but now we're all together. We're trying to sort something out, aren't we?
Would it be fair to say that you've all, well, obviously Lewis, it's no secret your past. Would you say you've been involved, had criminal activities in the past, been in jail for stuff that you shouldn't have done? Do you know what I mean? Obviously we can't speak about it in depth, but we've all done stuff we've regretted. Obviously, yous have done stuff that you've regretted, and now you're just trying to transform it into a positive thing.
Of course, mate. Of course, and I think it's worth bearing in mind that, you know, a lot of people have got a backstory, and I mean, Lewis has obviously recently, like, you know, started to get himself on the right path. I mean, the last time I was in prison was like 10 years ago. You know, I've got a lot going for us now. It's nice to see Lewis on, like, you know, going on the same trajectory as I was on back 10 years ago, you know, and started realising that he's worth more than just going to prison and in and out of prison. And, you know, he's got something to offer. Do you know what I mean? He's a really, really good lad. And anybody who knows him personally, he's got a heart of gold. Do you know what I mean? And we've all got a history at the end of the day. And not everyone's had an easy life, you know, and I think that's what bonds us all so well together, you know. We've all got different life experiences, and we can all relate to each other and give each other empathy. We're all a bit rough around the edges, you know, but every person that's in the team's got a heart of gold at the end of the day. And we're just looking to strive to do better and help people do better in life in general, you know. And
that's something that we hold dear there as well. That obviously, like, and we want to get this point out there, because obviously all of us, it's like there's young ones around that look up to us for the way that we go on, but they try and act like the way that we used to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
I get that.
We need, like, fucking, if we can stress this enough, like, we were living lives that fucking dead end lives that get you to a bad place in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, and we've come back, and that doing that isn't what's got us where we are today. It's just what's opened our eyes up. Like, if we'd have focused on doing what we're doing today, the things we'd have been achieving with our life would have been a million times positive. You know, like, so to us, like, obviously, I know Matty does something similar as part of a charity organisation or something, don't you? Obviously, like, it'd be nice to be able to guide the younger generation away from doing what we've done and like, obviously use maybe the boxing skills or martial arts skills or whatever is a way to get some discipline into the younger generation and help them out a bit as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
spread that positive news and hope it snowballs effects onto the next generation. I think every community is lacking that at the minute, because I think the world's a little bit when west that way. There's nothing for support for the youngsters these days. It's either you play football on the football pitch or that's it.
There's nothing for support anyway. The government has it all wrong. There's like you've got kids, you've got people who've got mental health illnesses, and rather than them help them, they punishing them. Like there was a kid tried to hang himself in the hostel, and they sent him back. They recalled him, sent him back to prison for it. Like, but this is the probation. The reason the probation officer was there was to support people transitioning from prison to the public. And that's the message they give people. So then why did he punish him when he's struggling with that, when they're supposed to there to help? Like, that's just one example. Like, obviously, stuff like that in general. Like, obviously, there's no helping. Like, obviously, people like ourselves need to be taking it upon our own shoulders and trying to look after our own communities. Do you know what I mean?
1,000,000%. So, would you say that who's the newest member to the team?
Probably me and picking it.
Pick me, aye. I started with them about February, mate.
February.
So
would you say you've found each other at the right time? Lewis, obviously, it's no secret you've been on holiday. Obviously, you know what I mean?
Just didn't get a tan.
So, would you say that you found the boys at the right time?
100%. Like, they found me, to be fair. Like Marley was before the last title fight. I think we were going to do a bit then, weren't we, Marley?
Yeah, we were.
But obviously, there's things that didn't, the numbers, like the dates and times and stuff didn't add up. Do you know what I mean? I was already in full momentum, but now, like, obviously, we're all together, knitted together, and we're like, that's it. We're there, man. Honestly, like, you know, this Saturday, right? There's 4 of our team turning up. Like, how long are you running a mile in?
About 5 minutes.
He runs minutes in 5 minutes. I run them in 5 minutes 9 seconds. What did you do yours in, Pick?
5 minutes 30.
Like, do you know, there's no other fucking team of fighters, I don't care what gym they come from, that's turning up, right? And every one of the fighters is more or less sub 5 minutes, sub 6 minutes even. I bet there's not one team where the sub 6 minutes. Like, there's a different level of people turning up again. And, you know, Saturday night, I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be at least one ambulance taking one of our opponents away, and that's not even a joke.
Is this your first time? Is this all your first times on a D-Day show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
He's boxed on one before.
You've boxed on one before. Who did you box, mate?
You what, mate?
Who did you box?
I boxed everyone, mate.
No, who did you box on the D-Day?
Who did you box on the D-Day?
Dave Ferguson.
Right.
Davey Ferguson. Yeah, I beat him.
Right.
So
how many people are you bringing?
There's 4 from our team, but how many tickets have we sold altogether? I'm just under 400.
I reckon we've done about 300 between us all.
More than that, I've done 90. You've done 150.
About 350.
350, 400.
350. Wow.
That's for 4 fighters. 10 fighters wouldn't have done. 10 fighters from Newcastle wouldn't have sold that. We've done it between 4 coming from Ferry Hill, the Pit Village.
I've seen what Lewis brought down to Manchester. I believe he was 70, 80, possibly 90-handed. It was insane, man. It was ridiculous.
It's a good thing. We're well like people, aren't we? Do you know what I mean?
Honestly. So, Lewis, obviously, as I said, I know you mostly. So, putting it nicely and politely, who's the guy who takes the beating? Because somebody's got to take the beating on the team.
Oh, I take the beating every day in the gym.
Marley's hands.
Marley's hands.
We buy him.
I'm going to need a shoulder.
So how have you seen Lewis's transformation since you've first getting your hands on him, Marley?
Honestly, do you know what it is? I've seen so much progression. It's been unreal, and I've thrown him in the deep end every time because I always say there's no point training where you're winning. So we're taking Lewis sparring with top lads, top bare knuckle fighters, top K1 fighters, and to be honest, he's not always getting his way. But then as we go back, you can see the progression, and he's holding his own against some top quality kids.
Lewis,
yeah.
No disrespect to your last team, but where do you think you could have been if you were in Marley's hands earlier?
Do you know what it is? You cannot compare it. I would think what I was doing with SBG and what I'm doing here is 2 separate things. Like obviously, like we're going for a higher level of boxing now. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, yeah. If we were just focusing on boxing and I'd been with Marley, I'd have been a lot higher up in the boxing world. But I had to, for my own peace of mind, I dipped my toe in everything else. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
So 1,000,000%, because when I seen that video, your technique has come on tenfold, and that's what first sprung to my mind. I was like, I wonder where Lewis could have been if he had these at the very start.
He's chiseled us. There's no other lie. Marley's chiseled us into one of them fucking, the warriors in Greece, and they've got fucking. He's chiseled us into one of them. I'm fucking. God. Do you know what I mean? I'm going out there to seriously maim people. Like, do you know, like, have you seen Jeepers Creepers where he eats his tongue out of his fucking head after he's done with it? I swear to God.
Coming with that mentality. You've got to have that mentality, though. Pick, obviously, you haven't trained. Have you trained? You haven't trained with Marley all your life, have you?
No, mate. I've been with Marley since February.
Now,
and everything's going class.
Where do you think you could have been? Like, how was previous training? Beforehand? Were you not putting everything into it, or was there something? Was the focus just not all there? What's different now?
The focus hasn't been there, mate. I've been on and off for years. But since I met Marley, I truthfully believe like I can do something with the boxing, unlicensed boxing, and I feel like I'm coming on leaps and bounds now.
What weight are you again? Sorry,
I'm 85 kilograms. I'm fighting. Right. So, but this will only be my second. This will be my second unlicensed boxing fight. This will be.
Right.
But before that, I do MMA. I was MMA before that.
Right, MMA. Who's your opponent this Saturday?
I forgot his name now. Dan Hodgson.
Dan Hodgson.
As far as I know, mate, he's had He's had a few bare knuckles and a few boxing. That's what I've been told.
Lewis, is that the one who was going to fight for Spartan?
Yeah.
I think it is, aye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Dan. Yeah. You should do. No disrespect to Dan. That should be a really good fight, actually.
Yeah.
Really good fight. Honest.
It won't be. We've trained harder. Like, they're not even going to be turned up, man. Compared to the next level, man. Easy wins for all of us. They could have chucked Tyson Fury in there, and we'd have been winning that fight. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't have about that one.
Got to have that attitude, honestly. So, Lewis, obviously, you're fighting a Polish guy, aren't you?
No,
no, you're not. No.
So this is how the boxing's come about. So obviously, we're all a team. I was training for the Spartan show on the 16th, right. And what do you call it, for the European title. And what's happened is they made it. The match's opponent said, "Oh, 2nd of March it'll be on," and then it was 26th of March, but it's definitely on. And they put it on a poster and that. And then it went, the 2nd of April or something, right? But this time we're all training now. Obviously, Billy and Alex, who's not here now, obviously took their fights to miss my fight on purpose, right? So obviously the 16th of April come, they've got their fight sorted, and it's meant to miss mine. Now all of a sudden we both going to have to be in 2 different ends of the country, fighting on the same day. So it was like a case of and because he kept changing date, we didn't know it was definitely going to be nailed on anyway. So it was a case of I had to pull out of that fight, right, and missed that bare knuckle fight. But then I didn't want to miss out fighting altogether, so I got myself put on the D-Day show. But it's worked out better now because there's 4 of us all fighting under Marley on the same show. And to be fair, if I do something like a bit with proper boxing, it's going to get us a lot better exposure, and I'm going to be able to showcase my skills properly here, aren't I? Do you know what I mean?
So, Matty, where do you plan on being? Have you got a set road? Have you got a path? Do you know where you want to be and such? Are you targeting things? Or are you constantly looking? Or is it really just until something pops up?
Yeah, well, we've got a few ideas in place. Obviously, don't want to give too much away at the minute, but we are trying to, we do want the world and we want everything in it. So we are striving for better. We do want more lads. We want a proper fight team. We do want to build Maulers as not just a brand, but as a unit of lads that look after each other and just project positivity, like we keep saying.
Who came up with the name Maulers? Team Maulers?
That's your man there, Matty.
Yeah,
yes. It's just, since me and Marley started training, like I was pretty unwell. I think it was in lockdown. We started training in our back garden, and I was that unfit. I was doing 1 minute rounds on the pads. I was like 95, 96 kilograms or whatever, and then I can. The lads will tell you I can train now. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm in very good shape.
It's probably the fittest man, really.
Yeah,
that's just what our mentality is about. Marley's obviously got that mentality from being in the forces and being in there and stuff. And I've got serious mental resilience through life experiences and and whatever else I've been through. And we'll just give it absolutely everything in the gym, and it's just that mentality. You know what I mean? And that's where the name comes from. Just Maulers. It's just all out. It's like you go out in the field.
They're in trouble.
Like,
the Mauler mentality.
It's not just a brand name, it's a message. Do you know what I mean? Because when you come against us, that's what you're putting yourself in the line of.
You get mauled all over.
So, Matty, did you say you were fighting on Saturday?
No, not on Saturday, mate. I'll be I'm more of like a MMA sort of. I might fight boxing. I'm not sure. We're just going to sit down after the lads have had their moment and stuff, and then weigh up the options, and I'll probably fight later on this year, because I've never trained consistently before now, and I've been training for a year consistently. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in, physically, mentally, and I think it'd just be a shame now I'm coming into the prime of my life not to go out there and actually now I'm in good shape and I'm at the best, that it'd be a shame not to go out there and put it on display, really.
Go on, son.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it. So, Lewis, obviously you plan to absolute dominate on Saturday. Where do you want to be by the end of the year? Because
I want at least 3 belts.
3 belts.
At least 3 belts. I could do with taking that one off Kofi. just fucking. He may as well just send it in the post because nobody knows where he's at. So fucking obviously, if somebody gets Kofi to send us his belt,
he's went missing, bro. He's gone. He's went missing.
He turned white. He's gone. For fuck's sake.
He's gone, brother.
Do you know what I mean?
If Darren put an offer to you, obviously you come through Saturday and you do the business. Now Darren puts Marcus Lupnia to you. Would you fight him for the belts? Because he's got all the DD belts.
I don't know who he is. I haven't followed him. Marcus Lupnia or something.
Marcus Lupnia.
Yeah.
Is that the Southpaw kid?
Yeah, that's the Southpaw kid, man.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Listen, I'd fight anybody, and I've literally just been saying.
We'll take that on Sunday.
You attack on the Sunday. Maybe if it does, like I say, because I believe he last beat Matty Hill, and they both had some form of belt. So I do believe that he's the champion for the.
Yeah, that's the kid who beat McCrory, isn't it?
Yeah,
he beat McCrory. He beat Wayne, who was in Spartan as well.
Beat Wayne Morgan. No. Well, that sounds like a good fight to me, to tell you the truth. I need somebody like that. That's the type of person. That's the type of caliber of fighter I want to be fighting. Do you know what I mean? I'm sparring with people tenfold better than that. Like fucking obviously, like I need to be fighting people that are worth. You know, like I want somebody that's going to get me blood going, man. You know, like fucking because through training camps, if you know you're fighting a divvy, you don't really care. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking obviously, like I want somebody who when I go in there, they've got just the same capability to kill me as I have to kill them. Do you know what I mean? It's no point going in and fucking taking someone's life away from them and then thinking, wait, he never even is. Do you know what I mean? That's why if you look on the Spartan shows, I get frustrated afterwards because I'm thinking I've trained for a full fucking fight, and they've given us an idiot that I've like not. Listen, they weren't idiots. I like both lads. They were fucking. I did like both lads, but. Right, like I didn't even go past a minute. Do you know, like fucking obviously, like, do you know what I mean?
I understand that. I know exactly what you mean, but I just think that would be a crazy, insane fight because you would both bring a crowd because he brings a crowd, and obviously get all yous on the show, and yous are going to sell the place out. Just
they'll know what we're about Saturday.
They'll know what we're about Saturday. We'll not get fights after Saturday, man.
So Marley, have you got any like sponsorship back in the team, the squad, the gyms and stuff?
At the minute, I don't think we have got any sponsors for the team. I think we've got individual sponsors. Well, the lads got individual sponsors.
We do have a Hard Life Fightwear who basically backs us and does all our kit. You know, like Dave Moore from Hard Life Fightwear has supported us. He supports me personally, Marley. You know, he does all our kit and literally the best around. We're a local based company. You know, and if you go on the website, you know, like they do help a lot of athletes out around here and stuff. And Dave and the team over there is absolutely great. Like they even work with like Dan Hardy, Jim Wallhead. Like they supply most northeast gyms. Like they're really good, honestly.
Well, I'll get the link off Lewis, and I'll put it in the link description on YouTube, so it can hopefully get it through shares out there. Lads, is there anything else you just want to get out there?
Just obviously, you know, respect to everybody fighting on Saturday. Respect like to our lads' opponents. I know that obviously it's a fight, and everyone of our teams come to obviously win. But at the end of the day, I know how hard our lads have trained, you know, and obviously it's going to be a great show. And D-Day's a great show, you know. Respect to everyone's opponents and stuff. Obviously, it's just going to be a good show, and all the best to everyone. I hope everyone gets out there safe and healthy, you know what I mean, and gets a good fight in with the lads. But I know that the team's been putting some serious work in because I'm in there every single day. I think it's going to, it's going to put a stamp on the team sort of thing.
Oh, you'll definitely enjoy it.
And I second that.
Fight on. So Darren does put a good production on, so you will enjoy it. Sorry for cutting you off there, Marius.
No, I was just saying I second everything Matty says there. So,
and shout out to Paul Venice. He rang us earlier, and he said you were good. He said you were good lad. You must have had him on your podcast before.
I've had him on before. I've spoken to Paul a few times. He's a really nice lad. Aye, he really is. He's a tank mind, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's great. I've been over there training with him, you know, and he wants like Marley to pad him and stuff. That's how high level Marley is at training people in boxing. We've got professionals, like Billy's a professional boxer, you know, ex-pro, whatever. Like you've got Paul Venice asking for work with Marley. You've got other pro MMA fighters. Like everybody wants to like train with us around here, you know. But obviously we're focusing on the team that we've got right now and getting this weekend out the way, and then the sky's the limit from there, you know. But everything starts off small. We're starting in the back garden, you know what I mean? And things are just going to go from there, really. You know, every gym starts out in the back end.
Yeah, I have no doubt. With the determination that he's shown that he's going to get there anyway. So, right, lads, honestly, want to thank you for coming on. Hopefully, we'll do some good numbers, get the export out of that. But much appreciated for coming on.
Maulers.
Thank you for having us, boys. The Maulers.
See you later.